Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the 2024 Four Roses limited edition.
Yeah, the marketing team should probably come up with a better name for that. But
Dustin, as you know, but the folks might not. I was in advertising for 5 years, and that is saying nothing.
yeah, every couple years they'll have like a better name in their limited edition. Like last year's was the 135th edition.
Everything's limited. There is no not limited edition of anything.
Now,
Everything's limited.
Don't tell that to the marketing guys. That's part of how they sell everything. Is whiskey's limited edition.
Lazy. Sorry, Dustin. I'm sure you don't mind drinking. You're not driving it, my friend.
I'm not.
All right, guys. 54 and ladies. 54.1% ABV. So small batch, all this other stuff. Four Roses. We don't do enough of these. It's such a good bourbon.
It is. I try to get these most years. I can't get them every year. I picked this one up. And the person I got this from, so it was a brother of a good friend of mine, and he sent a message back to his sister and said, "Hey, are they going to review that?" And I said, "Well, I wasn't planning on bringing it up this soon, but you know what? We'll bring it up."
Might as well.
So one interesting thing for everybody out there, they tell you this is bottle
1630.
1,630 out of 16,680. However, there's going to be a 700 ml release in the UK that will have another like 5 to 7,000 or so bottles. So I don't know what that number really means, and I don't know if they do a release in other countries and more of these get released. What I do know, Mike, is there's three recipes used for this one. Mm-hmm. One of them is only one barrel. The others are a little bit blended. I'll have to put that in the description, guys. I don't have it memorized. I believe the oldest whiskey in here is about 20 years old. The youngest is something around 12. Again, I'll put all the details in the description. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head.
I tell you what, Dustin, as far as bottles going to other countries, same thing as limited edition. You're not telling us anything.
Again, they're not even telling us how many bottles are made worldwide. It's
the art of
by
saying
country.
Nothing.
Yeah.
All right, Dustin, let's get to it. Our buddy Adam, big fan of Four Roses, loves those things.
I love these. Every year I try. Like I said, I try to get them, but they're a challenge, and I'm not willing to go crazy on price. I definitely went into secondary on this, but not super crazy.
I tell you what, that is the difference. We did a Michter's 10 recently. There's a difference between 47 and 54.
This is richer. It is oilier.
This so obviously comes off richer. That's about being barrel strength and everything else, so that's not a fair comparison. But what I will say is this. A lot of very similar flavors. It comes off sweet initially, but then all the other flavors kind of get in line as far as the percentage of the pie it takes. Mm-hmm. Nothing really disjointed here. There's no, I wouldn't say any huge swell other than sweetness, like with anything, say like char, distillery characteristics or anything else like that. That's why these have always been pretty enjoyable whiskeys to drink. As long as they sweeten them up, they're good whiskeys.
Yeah.
They're better than... It's clean. It's not over the top. It just gives you quality, usually with Four Roses, instead of just lipstick and makeup and overcoats.
Yeah, one thing I do like that Four Roses does is they've got that varied, different mash bills, different yeast strains. This to me comes off on the front of the nose on the more floral side. And I don't know, I honestly didn't look into I can never remember which mash bill does what. But again, very floral up front. And I got a lot of spicy rye notes on the back end. I don't get the age. Some of these come off super old. This one to me smells more like you'd expect a 12-year-old bourbon, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But I don't get any like the older notes that I sometimes will get.
Four Roses like E.H. Taylor to me. Its profile, it's really hard. To some degree, New Riff. It's really hard for me with all three of those to really pick up how old it is, especially if it's an older whiskey. I can pick up young usually from them, but not old for whatever reason. I just haven't had enough.
Well, I always go back to years ago. I was over at Jason Calori's, and he gave me a pour of the 2019 release of this. And, I mean, some tears started to come down. I was like, oh, my God, it's been so long since I had bourbon with this kind of age profile. This is not that.
No, I agree with you. I guess it's 10, 12-year-old whiskey. Yeah. That'd be my guess.
Nice smokiness. Again, believe there is up to 20-year-old in here. But, again, is it one barrel? Is it two? I don't know.
You really mixing all those kind of lets you play the middle ground anyway.
Yeah. Nice smokiness comes through here.
Everything really plays well with us. You're right. It was sweet, and then it sashayed into smoky. Nice oak note, not over the top. There's no char on this oak note. It's just straightforward oak.
It comes off as a smoky oak, which I like.
I think the oak is different. It's a very straightforward oak, almost like getting Rooster's chicken tenders with no sauce on them, just straightforward. Mm-hmm. And then that's an addition.
Yeah, a little bit of grain notes coming through, some hay. Slow on the sweetness. I do get a smidge of apple coming in here, but it's very light. It really predominantly stays away from the fruity notes. Stays very much in the dry grain, leather, earthiness, spiciness. Even vanilla is really subdued here, and caramel even. Again, I mean, they're here, but they're very subdued.
I'm not getting much caramel or vanilla either one.
Yeah, again, it's very subdued. It is, again, just very cinnamon, apple spice, again, hint.
I'm going to light Mentos.
I would expect that. I mean, these are higher rye. You're very sensitive to that rye note.
I don't know why I pick it up so easy. But this is, again, another thing, like nothing's getting out of line here. Everything's a compliment. Mm-hmm. This isn't an unruly crowd.
They definitely did a very good job balancing this one. Mm-hmm. And just, I mean, so and here their notes here just say vibrant, bright, unique.
Limited edition.
They do get into like more tasting notes in here. I didn't want to jump into that. But I actually really like what they're saying here because that is kind of, at least the vibrant and bright is actually a really good note. That does differentiate this from some of the other limited editions.
Well, now you say bright, I am sort of getting a citrus brightness, but
well, again, if I were to put a lineup of these here, this one is on the brighter, more vibrant side.
Probably.
Again, it doesn't give me that more aged notes. It doesn't give me more fruity notes. Yeah, very much just. I mean, again, it has a little bit of citrus in here. Definitely getting a little of that sort of just. Again, it's spicy, a little bit of citrusy. Again, everything about this is sort of spicy, but yet clean, smooth, like profile.
Sweet and spicy. As soon as you swallow, it gets dark. Chocolate and mint. Mentos. Chocolate covered. New York peppermint patty. On the finish.
Mike, I will agree very strongly on there is a very good mint here. It actually creates a great finish.
You don't agree with me, Dustin?
I do not go with the York peppermint part.
Maybe the chocolate's too much, but there's a twinge of chocolate.
There is some, but it's not the York peppermint chocolate at all.
Oh, right. Maybe I oversold it, but it's there.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful spices up front. You're right, it gets darker as you swallow.
A lot of spice, but in a very palatable way. I'm sensitive to spice. I don't like a ton of spice, and there's a lot of spice here.
So I've been very interested how you would review this because I actually was even said, I was like, I don't know if this is Mike's profile, and I don't want him dogging on this one because this is one of my favorite whiskeys.
I might dog on it, but not because of the spice. The spice here is substantial in its totality, but as far as taking it at any one given time, it's a compliment like almost everything else is here. Yeah, it's a negative I will say about Four Roses, in my opinion, is they do seem to try to play it safe with a lot of things. Maybe that's just how they do business. It doesn't seem like they ever had anything that's any one or two flavors or really far out there. That's not a bad thing.
Well, and one thing I picked up a store pick from them, so from Four Roses. So you get the store picks elsewhere, and one of my friends, he goes, so was that actually truly a Brent Elliott pick? And I said, yeah, it actually says on there Brent Elliott pick.
And why is that important?
Because when I tasted, my first thought was, gee, this is a little boring, a little safe, a little soft. And he goes, oh, that's because, was it a Brent Elliott pick? I was like, yeah, it is. It's right here. He goes, that's why.
Okay, so why is that?
So he's the master blender there for them.
And his Hardy's an accountant?
No, he likes easy sipping whiskey. That's his thing.
Yeah, but we've been saying that pretty much in our descriptions the entire time.
Whereas, some of the single barrels you get elsewhere can be very punchy, very aggressive. That said, I would not call this super easy drinking. I think the spice level here is very high. I don't think this is a whiskey that is going to...
But go ahead.
Like, if you're somebody who likes, Eagle Rare, this is not their, holy grail. This is not their step up.
I mean, it's a different whiskey.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Dustin.
I don't think water did anything on the nose.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, I cannot pick up one thing in any direction that's different with the water. Like, not thinner, nothing. Like, it is. I put a decent amount in. It's carbon copy.
Started to shut up. I was like, Mike's going to correct me here because I'm like, I can't tell the difference.
I can't tell anything.
No, it really smells exactly the same.
I put water in it, right?
I definitely did.
I thought it.
I saw you with the water bottle.
I'll go back and I'll look at the video like, man, I never touched it.
You put more, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I could put more. I'm almost positive I did.
I'm not getting anything here. And that's not a bad thing. It smelled great before. It smells great now.
How many times have we said this on a whiskey, though?
No, yeah, usually you get something. But you know what? We did make, you know how we make comments like, you know, it feels a little bit, you know, held back or a little bit condensed. None of that. It actually is very vibrant. Once again, it's vibrant.
It's as vibrant with water as it was without
Yeah,
it.
and the thing is, we didn't get any fruits to start with, so how would it bring out the fruits? There weren't any. So I'm kind of like, all right. I mean, all this is making sense to me. So yeah, I mean, just smells great.
No fruits.
Yeah.
When you can send all the fruit pickers you want, that's a basketball court. No fruit. That's the point.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit of smokiness coming through maybe, but yeah, it didn't change much at all with water. Still just the same great whiskey.
I'll say a little slightly more mini.
I was going to say slightly less.
There we are.
I'm getting more of like just the general sweetness coming through myself. Just kind of the bourbon sweetness. I mean, it's almost caramel, it's almost apple, it's neither.
Right. If I've gone to my head, I'd say caramel.
Yeah, I mean, but really, it's the spice is the show here. A little bit of citrusiness coming through, a little bit of smoky oak. I don't have a whole lot of like other stuff, and that's
good mouthfeel. It was oily.
Oh, it's a great mouthfeel.
Yeah.
I will say this particular release did not get well reviewed by a lot of people out there. Mm-hmm. Now, last year's was super hyped up. It definitely had some super old whiskey in it compared to this one. If I recall, it was top to bottom. It was the youngest was older, the oldest was older. I could be a little off, but I do remember that was really a hyped up one. It was the 135th anniversary.
35th.
Yeah, I got to try that at a liquor store. They had like their $25 for a pour. Got one, enjoyed it thoroughly. It wasn't so good that I went chasing at like $400, which is the lowest I saw that one for. Mm-hmm. This one I got for decently less, but which is might tell you why I got it for less. Is it wasn't the 135th.
All right, Dustin. Whiskey score time. Yeah. Your whiskey. I'll go first. I'm gonna give it a lower score than I thought I was gonna give it. It really doesn't do a ton for me. Easy drinker. Mm-hmm. There's nothing off-putting per se. I'm not a big spice guy, but even though the spice was substantial, it was still in line. 85? I feel bad giving it an 85.
Ooh, that's low.
Yeah. I really, if I never drink this whiskey again, it'd be fine with me.
Wow. So I'm going
That's
lower.
what I say when I'm 85. Like, if I never see it again.
I get it. No, that's what 85 is.
I have a cousin like that.
85 is a
see you again. It's cool.
I got a lot of family like that.
I'm kidding. Where are you at, buddy? 90?
No. Some of these are 90s for me. This one, I do understand the disappointment some have. I'm enjoying it. I think it does everything very well. I'm going to give it an 87. Mm-hmm. I wanted to give it an 88, but I just can't get there. 86 is where I'm starting to feel like there's something lacking or maybe off.
I was close to an 86.
I can't go there either.
It's not my profile.
This is
as you originally suspected.
Yes, and as I've noted, I really enjoy these bottles. I seek them out and I'm willing to pay a little of a premium for them. This one, I kind of wish I hadn't paid the premium, but at the end of the day, it's a very enjoyable bourbon. This is one I'm glad to have, but truth be told, there are single barrels you can get out there for about $100 these days that are going to be better. And that's kind of a bit of a damning statement on a premium $200. I mean, I think these were one of the stores I saw had these for $210 at retail. Their retail, which whatever that is.
We could just be wrong.
Yeah. So, and let us know, guys. I think this is one of their below average, if not maybe the worst one I've had of these. That said, the worst of a great series of whiskeys is still pretty good.
Limited edition. Yes, it's a chance to try this one. Let us know what you guys think. Limited edition. And Dustin, until next time, we wish the folks.
Happy, how the hell is 16,000 bottles limited edition?
See you next time.